Hi everyone, this is Cara and I am back with you with another Thailand video. So this one's going to be about the company that I went with, the experience that I actually did, and the pros and cons of that experience. So pro number one, it's not a scam. I was really suspicious of this company at first because they rang me after I did like a little Tefl quiz, and they rang me 2 days later saying, do you want to go to Thailand? So I was a bit like, people don't just ring you and ask if you want to go to Thailand, so I was a bit nervous that it was a scam. But after doing some research and things like that, I thought I'm going to go for it. It wasn't a scam, so that was good. Pro number two is that you're getting a qualification out of it. Like, you get to go on this amazing trip, but you also have a Tefl course at the end. Like, I have a qualified Tefl course now, so I can go and teach abroad anywhere within like a lot of countries. So that's a good thing, you get a qualification out of it. Pro number three, you get to live in another country for a couple of months or 6 months or whichever one you decide to go on. It just gives you a chance to experience a new culture in a way that you wouldn't on a holiday. You're working, you're buying groceries, you're doing all these different things that you don't do on holiday. So it's a completely new experience where you're actually living in another country. So I thought that was a good thing, and that was a pro. Pro number four is the fact that you get to go to different places. This company does some places in Asia, it does some places in like South America, it does some places in Europe. It kind of goes to a lot of different places, so you don't just have to pick Thailand. There's Cambodia, there's China, there's Spain, Poland I think is another one. So there's lots of different places that you can actually go with this company and know that you're going to be taken care of. And pro number five is the fact you get to meet new people and you become friends with new people. I still keep in contact with a couple of people that I met in Thailand, and it's amazing what kind of cultural things that you pick up. When I came back, I was bowing at everybody that I knew. So when I came back, I see someone like my boss and I go, so hi, how are you? Yeah, Thailand was great. I would slip into that because you have to sawadee ka your elders and your boss and things like that. So I got so used to doing that at the school that I started doing it when I got home, and even now, a good 5 months later, I still catch myself on occasion going to bow at someone. So it's amazing what will stick with you and what won't stick with you. Unfortunately, although it has a lot of pros, it does have some cons as well. So here's con number one. Con number one is it's quite expensive. I'm a very broke post-student because of my trip to Thailand, and though I wouldn't trade it, it is something that you do need to consider overall, between, because you pay for your own flights, because you pay for the course, you pay for stuff travelling while you're there, all these different things. So I try and save up a lot of money before you consider doing this. They normally have deals on, so when I did mine and I found it, it was £795 for the Tefl course and for the like Thailand experience. But obviously when you're there you pay for food, you pay for weekend accommodation and flights and travel and stuff, which, you know, fair enough. So yeah, just think of that, like think of spending money, think of travel money, your visa, your flights, all of that has to be taken into account because that is separate to the actual course itself. Con number two can be living conditions. Because a lot of the time, especially with this company, it's the school that pays for your accommodation, not the company. So whatever they can afford to spare or whatever they can afford is what you will get. I think in Thailand, what the guy at Nutty Adventures that we was looked after by said that all of the places had Western toilets. However, I got kind of one of the rougher deals with the school accommodation, as I lived in a classroom with no aircon, and our toilet was 3 floors down, so we couldn't really escape the school very often, so that was quite difficult, and it was always really hot and things like that. But other than that, I still enjoyed it. I'd still do it again, but the living conditions weren't the best, but they were manageable. And I'd also like to point out the fact that mine was one of the worst out of the group that I was with. Another thing you'll have to consider is culture shock. I adapted very, very well. If anything, I got more reverse culture shock than I did culture shock. But there's different food, it's different language, it's heat, it's water, all these different things that you're not used to. So you've just got to remember, if you're quite a home bird and you haven't really travelled, research the place you're going to first, because you want to be able to kind of have a rough idea of what is you want to be able to have a rough idea of where it is and what is expected of you within that particular country. So I would suggest doing your research to try and minimise some of that culture shock that you may or may not experience. And my final con is con number 4. That is, you get addicted to things that you cannot find or cannot find cheaply in your own country. For example, one of the things I became addicted to are green tea Kit Kats. Obviously that is a Japanese thing, but it's sold elsewhere like Thailand, and they are so delicious, but the cheapest I have found in the UK is when they've been mailed from Japan to the UK, and it's £5 per packet, and each packet has like a mini 12 pack in them. If anybody knows any cheaper places in the UK for me to get those, please put it down in the comments below. But yeah, that is my final con. So I hope that this gives you some rough ideas of whether you would or wouldn't want to teach abroad, either with this programme or with another. Just be careful. As I say, I Tefl or love Tefl. It's definitely real. I went with them, and I hope you enjoy your experience if you decide to go. Bye!